Hello everybody, this is Terry Jeanette with the Tapping Flamingo, and today I'm going to try to show you how I sewed or wired the beads onto this form here. I've had several of you ask me, and I'm not really set up to do a proper tutorial, so hopefully I'll be able to kind of give you an idea of how to do this. So the first thing you need wire. You need your form. We're going to use this today. I don't have another one of these. So I do have one of these. Actually, I have two of these. And then I'm going to use red beads. I think for this tutorial, it's going to show up a lot easier so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Plus the fact, I don't know, that might look pretty good. So let's get to creating. So I'm using 24 gauge wire. And these 4mm Chinese crystals. And then this form right here. And the first thing I'm going to do is kind of inspect this a little bit. I'm going to look for places that these crystals might look nice at. And I see a couple small holes pretty much at each corner, if you want to call those corners, each side. And so this is probably where I'm going to start out. Now, whenever I do anything like this, I do have a vision in my head, but 99% of the time, what is in my head does not wind up coming through to here, which is okay. That's all part of creating. And that's why most of my stuff is all one of a kind. You'll also are going to need some pliers. I go ahead and pull out my round nose pliers. Not sure we'll need them, but we'll see. We will definitely need some wire cutters. And we're going to need some flat nose pliers. I got all my beads out. I've counted out about 20. I don't think I'm going to use that many. I'll just put them aside here. And then I went ahead and cut probably about, I don't know, 1.25 feet or so wire. And I have started by from the back, threading it through. And first thing we're going to do is just start adding beads to it. I'm going to start in the middle, and I'm going to hold to the wire on the back here because you don't want it to, you want it to be tight. I am using silver wire because I don't have any brass. I don't think it's going to show that much, but I'll show you what to do at the end here with all that. But let's see. So I'm going to work on this side. So we have that bead in there. So I think I'm going to go ahead and there's a hole here. And it's just like sewing wire. Okay, now when I come back up through the next hole, I got to figure out where exactly I want to go. I think I'm going to go right here. And this just basically develops as you go. So put your bead on there. And then I'm going to go through this hole here and just pull through. Now sometimes it might get stuck a little bit. You just have to maneuver the wire. Okay. So I did a little bit more threading some of the beads on, and I tried to mimic the sides there. I'm going to start moving around to over here with this wire, and with this wire move over here. I will continue to thread and be back to show you what I came up with. Now, I'm at a point where I need to make a decision. And I took some time to kind of look and think out my options. Now, with the necklace that I made here, when I got to this point, I thought, you know what? I would like some dangles. And I thought about putting dangles on here, but I don't think that's really where I want to go. At least not right now. I may change my mind. But I think what I want to do, so I have one wire this way and one wire this way. I need to get them in the same spot. So I decided to go ahead and bring both wires up here. I had 10 little crystals, but I needed to add one more because I wanted this to look like I just took a bunch of crystals and just dropped them and they fell where they were. And it still looked like I needed a little bit more there. It looked a little sparse. So I added one more crystal on my way to bringing both of the wires up here. And I wound up with, I needed one wire to be in the front and one wire to be in the back. Hope that makes sense. And then I took a glass crystal and put it onto the wire here. Just make sure your hole is big enough. And then what I'm going to do is just start twisting. Just twist. And it does not have to be perfect or pretty because we're going to pretty much hide all that on our next step. So let me go ahead and twist this and I'll be back. So I've got it all twisted and now we need to make a bail, and you can use round nose pliers. And if you use round nose pliers, I would use the bottom, the biggest part. I like to use these guys though. And I think I'm going, usually I use this, but I think I may go smaller. And you just put your pliers like this, and then you're going to wrap this around. And I'm actually going to wrap it here, and then I'm going to wrap it around the bead, and then finish the wrapping at the bottom of the bead. So I have it all wrapped, but now I need to tuck this portion in to the wire here so it doesn't scratch you. And you just use flat nose pliers to do that and just squeeze it in there. So I've got the raw ends tucked in, and I just kind of like to feel around here to make sure it's not sticking out. Now, as far as the back goes, I don't know if you can really see what's going on here, but I took my pliers and some of the longer portions of the wire. I took my pliers and just twisted very lightly though. You want to be careful because you can crack these beads, especially if they're crystals, but you just want to make sure they're tight. Now, when I was actually threading the beads or the wire and putting the beads on here, I made sure I didn't go like from here to here. I just wanted to go little short distances. And I think I pretty much have everything solid here. I might want to go back and let's see. I don't want to do too much work on it. But I think it's pretty smooth back there. Have it all finished. I just took an existing sterling silver chain that I already had and hung it on there, and it makes a very simple piece. I could step it up quite a bit and make some type of a beaded chain to go along with it, but I actually like the simpleness of it like this. While I was at it, I made another one. This one has a little bit of a Mardi Gras theme to it. I wired this one up just like I did the one with the red crystals, but instead of having it this way, I turned it. I used green and purple crystals, wired them on there with 24 gauge? Yes, had to check and make sure. 24 gauge wire. Added a little bit of a larger crystal and topped it off with a smaller one. Wrapped the wire around it, and this will look good on just a simple chain. And that's what it looks like on. I think I'm actually going to put this on a gold tone chain and put it in my shop. Be great for Mardi Gras. I may add this to my shop too. Anyway, thanks for asking about how to do this. I hope the tutorial was something you could understand. I hope you give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. Ding that bell for notification. Mostly though, I want y'all to have a wonderful day. This is Terry Jeanette with the Tapping Flamingo signing out for now. Bye-bye.